keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing.
Hello and good morning, everybody. You are with the Gamers That Lift. That's right, I'm flexing. Good morning, everybody. This is a podcast with dedication to lifting and gaming all together as two cultures combined. I'm joined with my co-host lifting those 90-pound dumbbells because he's a monster. That is Rouster. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Thanks for joining, and everyone in chat, what's going on? Thanks for coming on out. Really appreciate everyone coming out this morning. We got Bruce, we got SPG, Ray, Neil J, Ambi, and Sanchez Gaming, as well as the other people listening. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's too big. Damn, man, Rouster, you just put my bicep to shame, bro. Oh my goodness. Yes, good morning. Like we like to start off, because we are gamers at heart, and that is how the title goes, Gamers That Lift. What have you been gaming on this week? What's been going on?
So it's pretty much just my weekends, but last weekend I was playing Legend of Keepers. It's like an old game, turn-based game. I used to play it on Stadia, and I got it on Xbox, and I've been playing that. Also, I'm this weekend I plan to play that game that came to Game Pass. I don't even remember the name of it, but it's some like retro FPS game. I'm gonna check that out, but probably play more Legend of Keepers. And So because I'm enjoying that game. I never really got to play it fully, and I have the full expansion version of Legend Keeper. So
Nice. I'm sure that's a quality title. I remember, I think, the Square on Stadia back in the day, but it's good to get into those. The old school FPS makes me think of that Star Wars game they just released, the Dark Commander, I think it is, or Dark Forces. So, pretty cool. How are you enjoying them? You now finished Prince of Persia, right? You finished it within like a
yeah,
week or two of it coming out.
yeah, I finished it pretty quickly. It was a couple of weeks because I just, I mean, I just played on the weekend, but I managed to get through it. I played on an easier mode, which helped speed it up a bit. I mean, it still took me like 20 to 30 hours total. Played, a few hours each day on my weekend, couple 2 or 3 weekends or something. But you know, I know some other people in the community, like Purple, are enjoying it. So it's nice that other people are enjoying it, and it's definitely a fun game. And I know it's discounted now, so if anyone's, I'm not trying to sell the game, but like, it is a fun game if you like Metroidvanias, side scrollers. If you don't mind that, or you like that particularly, then it's a fun game. So, yeah.
I still have to get back into it, unfortunately, or fortunately, I may add. Final Fantasy VII has really stolen my heart. It's taken a lot of my gameplay time focused on that. I've gotten to the beach aspect, which has been a lot of fun. I streamed that yesterday. There's these awesome mini games I was playing, like some form of Rocket League. And then there was target shooting, but then I went on to take some bosses.
Uh,
It's a wild mix with a high production value. It feels like an epic movie that you're a part of, and the characters are all very lovable. So I'm thoroughly enjoying Final Fantasy Part Two, and I've never played the original, so I'm still locked in and enjoying every moment, and I'm not sure
Nice.
how the original effects. Did you play Final Fantasy VII back in the day, or was that not on your roster? Oh, I think we lost Rouster for a bit, but no worries. I'm sure he'll be joining us back shortly. In the meantime, I've also been meaning to check out these new mechs dropping into Helldivers as well. So I'll definitely be getting in and checking those out as soon as possible. Really cool to see that they've upgraded, adding new content. We got a new battle pass coming up this week. So there's going to be medals to go after. I can't wait to check these out. In addition, we got some updates to the game, which makes it really cool how they keep changing balances of weapons. Rouster, are you coming back? Let me try to disconnect and then join this new call. And hopefully we get Rouster back. The mechs, here we go. We can see someone buying them. They are 20,000 credits, I believe. You call them in, just like a stratagem. So really cool aspect there. Okay, I'm going to disconnect and wait for a Rouster to join back. Hopefully he's able to join. So love that the mechs are being dropped into the game. Updates, nerfing weapons, buffing weapons, as well as changing how the enemies behave. So they've taken away that sort of solo in a team aspect. Now, if you're dropped in with the team, it pays off to be all together and in part of a team, because if you're going off solo, most likely you're going to get overwhelmed because they've increased the time between enemy attacks and they've increased as many enemies that are coming at you. So be sure to stay vigilant, be sure to stay with your team, and keep fighting for those democracy and liberty missions. Rouster! Hopefully we get Rouster back. Um, let's just go to a Rouster Flex. There we go. Can we get to the Rouster Flex? Oh, there we. While we're waiting for. There we go. He's calling. Super professional podcast, everybody. Super professional. Don't worry about it. There we go. We got Rouster back. Except we can't hear Rouster. There's no volume on Rouster. Is that a me thing or is that a you thing? Well, everybody, we are going to go get into some workout stuff coming in soon. Let's see if I can turn up the volume on you. Test, test, test. I don't believe I have your audio there, Rouster. Yes, Helldivers is definitely. Oh, Dragons 2 Dogma hype. Definitely. Let's read through the chat while Rouster perhaps gets his volume back in. Just give me a test once you get that on, and then I'll go through the chat. So you guys are amazing. Thank you, SVG. Dragon's Dogma 2 hype. Bruce, have you created a character yet? There is a free character creator drop. So that is cool. Rouster, maybe we join a Discord chat to get you. Huh. Nope, that's not fixing anything. We just had this working before the show, I promise you. And now it is not working. So you can't hear me. Can you jump into the Cyborg Cities Cyborg Central chat and try and do that? It's too big. It's too big. Hey, mic test. Rouster, see, I don't have volume coming from you. I don't know if your input is not on. Oh, well. Having a little bit of technical difficulties. Thanks everyone for stopping on by. We will definitely be getting into some lifting stuff as we get this sorted. Rouster. All right, let me know when you get some volume going on and we will get you in here. So hopefully everyone's having a fantastic morning. We are trying to get Rouster in here, apparently. Sorry for the delay in things. I am going to go over what I've been up to. So let's jump into some workout progress I've been going on while Rouster fixes his audio. This has been my progress over the past 3 years. I have been working on trying to, get up there, get my composition better. Obviously, I started out on the lower end there. We can see I was about 30% body fat coming out of COVID, coming out of a year of studying. From there, I started to just do dietitian, eating right, trying to make sure that my diet was regulated, eating mostly clean, organic foods. There, I was able to transition and then start my workout program. A lot of biking, a lot of cardio to up the amount of carbs I was burning every single day. So that was about 2 to 3 times in the gym. And then I was able to really shred down that composition. And then in April of 2022 or 2023, a year later, that's when I was biking 3 times a week, going to the gym 3 times a week, doing heavy lifting. So about 175, under 20% body fat. But at that point, I just felt a little bit too small. Yeah, I don't, I think what you have to do, Rouster, is go into the audio settings and in Discord and then reset your mic. It may just take a reset of the mic. We can try another Discord call. Maybe that'll fix it. Hello? No, still no audio. It may be in voice settings. So from there, I decided to go on a bulking journey to try to gain more weight because at that point I was 175. And I felt a little bit underweight, a little bit too thin. And then I started taking the mutant mass, the make weight gainer, just drinking a lot of protein shakes first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Oh, we got Rouster back. What's going on? I hear you, man.
Well, only audio because I'm joining from my phone because my computer
No
just wants to be
worries.
retarded.
I appreciate
Sorry.
it. No worries. Next time we'll try to we'll get this in, but you haven't missed too much. I'm just talking about sort of my journey throughout the
Yeah.
past couple years, 2 years now, that I've been trying to work out and get a better composition. So I turned on the bulk from April to October, and that middle picture you see, honestly, I feel like that may be the best that I was at. It may be 185 pounds, just over 20% body fat. And then I just started to bulk right up to 200. So in December, I was like
Wow.
pretty big, like 200 pounds, maybe 25% body fat.
Hmm.
I was eating a lot of food, like craft dinner before, like an entire box of KD before every night, just to try to pack on the extra calories.
Right.
But then in the new year, I decided to try to become vegan, and I've changed up maybe about 90% of my diet to vegan, and I cut about 5% of body fat. Down to 195. Took a picture on my birthday, and then again on my weigh-in March. So it's going well. I was able to essentially take where I was at in April for, or say October in 2022, and just add 20 pounds to it and keep the same body fat percentage.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
which is a lot. It's cool. It's nice to see the progress throughout the years and just like moving towards that goal. Although
Yeah.
it's kind of like up and down. Not every day is going to be the best day at the gym. Obviously, I had an experience on last Thursday where I just felt like I couldn't lift anything. Usually I lift 25s for my arms, and I just went down to 15s because I was like, I don't know, I'm depleted today. It's
Yeah.
just some days are not. Oh, Hannah says it's because I ate pizza for dinner, and pizza is not a meal, and that's why I don't think pizza's a meal, because pizza slowed me down. That's what I blame.
I also had a similar thing last night. I was at the gym and I usually go up to 75s because it's the highest they have at my gym for shoulder press and last night, I don't know, 65s felt like, I think I got like 12 reps, but it wasn't feeling that great like compared to normal. Maybe I got 10. No, I think I got 10 reps. Normally 75s I get like, 6 to 8 reps, and I was like, I was just like, you know what, I'm not feeling it tonight. You're not going to have the best workout. You're going to feel a little different. It's not necessarily that you're going backwards. You're just not having the best day. Maybe I didn't eat enough earlier. I don't know what it was, but I just didn't quite feel it. But that's okay. Just rest up and get a good weekend and go back to it Monday. And because I usually just work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday with some cardio on the off days and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm not going to worry about it. Just it's not it's not like I'm going for some competition, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I'm not competing for a gold medal yet. I'm not part of a body composition contest yet. Those are all things that, maybe in the future, but we'll see. Um my wife's saying, "Uh-oh. Uh-oh." It would be cool to, compete in the Olympics for something. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Uh, we have something here that I wanted to talk to you about. It's
Yeah.
about how to do proper bench pressing. So this is something that I am constantly working on. I feel like my bench press is honestly one of the weakest lifts that I have, and I've sustained an injury in my shoulder and my back, and I always, kind of blame that on it, but I always just feel like I have a weak chest. And I'm always trying to like figure out ways how to get more weight, how to lift bigger. And so I'm just, asking you, do you like sort of line things up? Do you regularly bench press, or is it only dumbbells? How do you approach the bench
Uh,
press?
yeah, I've been just doing dumbbells. Oh, the two reasons. One is that my gym doesn't have bars. They have a Smith machine, but I remember mentioning on the last one, Smith machine is the where the bar locks you in into like a straight up motion, and that doesn't follow your natural guiding, the natural motion of your arm. So I don't use that, but I do use dumbbells, and it allows you to more freely move the weight. I've heard a lot of people say that dumbbells are better. I do think maybe for pure mass or whatever, barbell is good. But I've always had issues with my shoulder, particularly my right shoulder, taking over for my chest, and then I would end up with pain in my shoulder. So um, sometimes when you get locked into a certain way of doing things, it's hard to pull yourself out. I do see the videos online, like this one, where they talk about bringing your shoulder down and back, pulling your pulling everything back and down so that you're not putting as much pressure on your shoulder and hurting your shoulder. Um, Obviously, I haven't really been able to test that with a barbell because they don't have any at my gym. Oh, they show the Smith machine there in the video. It looked like
Yes,
the
and
Smith machine
they're
anyway.
going over, how better you should position yourself if you're working
Yeah,
with a straight Smith machine so that you are doing it more on an angle, and perhaps
yeah,
you should look for those angled Smith machines and where to place yourself. So like you're saying, you're going more with that natural flow of your arms. Just going straight up and down, you're right, is going to hurt your shoulders. It's going to end up in overuse of the shoulders. And I think I've experienced that and you've experienced that. And so
hmm
I'm personally trying to always look for ways to get rid of the shoulder in the bench press and use, all those chest fibers to push.
right.
So,
It actually reminds me of something that happened to me at the gym with the Smith machine. I was doing shoulder press on the Smith machine seated, and the and I was using a seated a back I was sitting on a chair with a back, and the back didn't allow me to move because I was pushing against the back of the chair. That was like the worst thing I could have done. And when I went to push up with the Smith machine, because I'm pushing against the bar and not really against the weight, I'm pushing against the guidance of the bar. That's forcing me. And then I heard this pop right in my collarbone. Man,
oh,
I was hurt for weeks after that. I mean, thankfully it was nothing serious and it went away. But yeah, that you have to be very careful. If something feels awkward, then definitely you don't want to do it. If something feels uncomfortable, awkward, you can't control the weight properly. Well, with the Smith machine, it's not about controlling because the machine helps you. But personally, I like exercises where you're more free to move around, free to control it yourself. But of course, then you have to control it. So use light enough weight that you can control it and do the lift properly. Um, you know, and watch people doing exercise videos to make sure that you're doing it right. So
yes, absolutely. The other thing I wanted to go over in this video, which I thought was extremely important, is breathing. The idea that your body is like a pop can, it is more tense when you fill it up with liquid than when it's empty. So you want to tense all of your muscles up. You want to make sure that you're engaging everything. to be able to exert that force out of your chest and not create these pockets where pressure can really push and do some damage. That's sort of what I am really trying to focus on is getting that pressure, increasing that tension, simply exactly like he's showing, like a cough. You want to tighten everything up, and just like a bow and arrow, just boom, power right up to really build that strength and increase the amount of weight that you can lift the next time.
Yeah, no, it seems like great technique. I've never been great at bench press either. I have the same I have the same weakness as you. I mean, I do okay, but like I said, I can only do dumbbells at my gym, and the max they have is 75 pounds there. So I'm doing 75s for like 13, 15 reps or something like that. Because I can't go heavier at my gym, but it's fine. I don't need to be bodybuilder. I don't need to be a you know lifting super heavy in my daily life, so it's fine. I'm just there to get in shape and keep the muscle I have, and I'm happy with that. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what's important is just don't push more than you should. Push what you
mhm.
can that day. But yeah, that's what I wanted to break into next was what are we saying? What late weights are we currently lifting? Yeah, I'm jumping all over the place. That's what I do. Yeah, so what about you, Rouster? What weights are you currently been lifting? What's been going on with you at the gym as of late?
Okay, so um, basically, I'm doing my usual workout, but I've been trying to change it up a little bit because it's good to change things up sometimes, especially if you feel like you're not making progress. You don't always have to get sore, but if you don't feel like you're making progress, change things up a bit. Like I still like doing pull-ups, but I've been changing more where I flip flip my wrist around, so I'm doing like a chin up where my palms are facing me, and that hits more biceps. Um, I wasn't doing like really any bicep before. In my pull-ups, I was just doing a straight, pull-up, regular pull-up, and I'm changing it up. Um, and I've done a little bit of curling since our last podcast. Not too much here and there. Like I don't really need bigger biceps, but I feel like I should do a little bit just to focus on the muscle here and there. As far as weights going, I don't really track how much weights I'm lifting, except for you know like what I know remember in my head. Like I was just saying, I was doing 75s in shoulder press for I think I'm doing 6 to 8 reps there, similar to what I've done before. Not and I think I'm getting like 10 pull-ups, something like that. See what else. I'm still doing the same seated squat, pause squat that I was doing before, where I just hold it in position because of my knee. Um, nothing too different. I did add some extra stuff to my warm up routine. Um, and I know we're going to talk about warming up and how important that is. so, uh, yeah, I've been adding a little bit of jumping cardio to my warm up routine. Um, I was I just I'm doing the ropes, and I like the picture. Um, and so that's been adding a little more cardio for my lungs, and also warming things up. Geez, uh, I that's a good picture if I can't have the video, right? So
Exactly, that's
anyway,
what I thought.
that's I just don't like my hair being longer. Now that I got a haircut, I prefer it better. But anyway,
Oh, come on. Nothing wrong with long hair. Nothing wrong with long hair.
no. It's I feel like I look younger with the short hair. Anyway, that's where my workout is. If you wanna tell us about yours, or you know,
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've been really trying to get my pull-ups, really trying to get my chin-ups, to a place where I'd like to, where I'm overcoming my injury. So I've been doing a lot of assisted pull-ups, where the bar is kind of halfway and you put your feet out. And now I'm doing 4 sets of my big lifts right off of the bat. That's been my new routine. 4 sets, hitting 12 every time, whether that be back, whether that be squats or leg press, or whether that be bench pressing. And those are my big major lifts that I'm constantly doing. Then after I'm doing those big lifts, I'm jumping into supersets. And so supersets, I do 3 sets, and I'm only doing about 8 to 10 reps of those, but they're fairly heavy. I'm usually exhausting myself. And that will be again hitting different areas of my back. Perhaps I'll do a lat pull and twist with a bench, like a bench row, to really isolate the back and try to grow that. And I'll just do those back to back. So you do 8 of one, 8 to another, rest for a minute. 8 of one, 8, 10 of that one, rest for a minute. And just really trying to hit, isolate, and grow. And then after that, I'll start to hit up the supplementary muscles. I'll do some bicep curls and I'll even superset that, or I'll just do something ridiculous. Like I'll put the number 84 in my head and I'll just like keep curling and curling until we get to 84. Just things that I like to do to kind of push myself to grow bigger. And that's been my main drive going forward. It's just doing things like that. Trying to lift more. I'd really like to get my bench press where I'm regularly just starting with putting a plate on each set of the barbell. I'd like to get to a place where I'm doing just regular chin-ups, without any assistance, and my back is not bugging me anymore. And then I will say I do like where my squats are at. I think that they're very strong, so just maintaining those would probably do me well.
yeah, no, I
But
hear you. That's great.
I think I could get my cardio up. I was starting to get back into it, doing it 2 to 3 times a week. But at about last week, my leg just ended up getting beyond tight. Like, just all my muscles were cramping up, and I've now taken about 2 weeks off of cardio. Hope to get back into that sometime soon.
Yeah. If you, I would recommend getting back into it. Just take it slow. Feel it out. See how you feel. I mean, you don't even have to like do a lot in one day. Do like a couple of do like a few minutes, and then see how it feels the next day. Like you will not know how you're gonna feel until the next day or so. Or you may notice it right away, but you may not notice it until the next day. Like when I stopped doing squats because my knee hurt, I went to the gym and I was like, oh, my knee's feeling pretty good, and I went and did 2 sets. Man, my knee was killing me the next day. I'm just like, you know what? I'm so glad I didn't do more than 2 sets, because it felt fine when I was doing it. Imagine if I did 4 sets or 6 sets of squats, and then the next day I couldn't function. So you really have to sometimes you got to treat your body with kid gloves, especially as well, I'm getting to almost 50. With my birthday at the end of the month, I'll be 48. So, um, just have to be careful, treat your body right, rest, and and make sure you don't hurt yourself. It's None of us are super serious, I think, and we just want to improve ourselves. So it's take it slow and don't overwork anything. But I just want to mention about the supersets. I think supersets are great. I don't think Personally, I do supersets every so often. I don't think there's something you want to necessarily do all the time, but like, you know, um, change it up, do supersets with one body part, and then the next week do supersets with another. But they do like you're getting super sore, so maybe if you want to not do so much, you can take away the supersets or just do regular sets or whatever. But I don't know if everyone in chat knows what superset is, even. So I don't know if you want to explain it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, superset is when you do one set of lifts, just say a bicep curl, and then you follow that up with a set of workouts that are targeted at the same muscle group, but not necessarily the same muscle. So you may jump to preacher curl right after something like that. So you're targeting the same muscle group, but you're doing two different sets back to back, and about 8 to 10. And then on the second superset, you want to go lighter. You do not want that second set of supersets to be heavy. And so that just kind of further
Mhm.
burns out any piece of that muscle group that you may have missed on the first lift. At least that's how I see supersets.
Right, right. I do it slightly differently. In just I'm doing basically the same thing for my supersets, but I'll do the same exercise. So let's say I'm doing curls, for example. I'll pick up like 50 pounds. I'll do like six reps, and then I'll switch to like 25 or even 20s, and then I'll do 4 or 5 reps of that. And when I say the reps, I'm not going by like, oh, just pick an arbitrary number. I do to close to failure or failure for that set, and but you do back to back sets for the same muscle, but with the second set being a lighter weight, and that's how I see supersets, and it's very fatiguing, but because you're not resting between sets.
Yeah, exactly. It's very fatiguing, but you're definitely hitting the failure points and you're definitely exhausting the muscle group. So there is positive and negatives to it as well. Um, I would 100% agree. But let's talk about something that is supposed to mitigate the injuries, and that is the importance of warming up and cooling down. I know we talked a little bit about this before the show, but personally, because I've had an injury, I warm up every single time I go to the gym. I grab the cable or I grab a rope and I'm warming up my rotator cuffs because I know if I don't warm up my rotator cuffs, they're gonna get stiff because that's where I've had a recent injury. So I definitely feel like warming up as well as stretching your legs out before squats or just doing a little bit of bike riding to get some blood flow and then doing a stretch, I think is extremely important. I know I don't even get on the bike before I do 5 minutes of stretching. So there is definitely huge aspects to warming up. What is your warm up routine when you're able to do it? I know you've been bad. You said at not doing your warm up routine all the time. What are your feelings on this one?
Well, actually, yeah, no. So I do my warm up routine pretty much religiously, but maybe you were thinking of the stretching. It's so I probably should stretch more than I do. Um,
Ah, yes, that
so
was it.
yeah, no, that's cool. So my warm up routine is I use the ropes. So there's two different types of ropes that they have at my gym. The battle rope, um, and um, so the battle ropes, I do that, and that warms up my shoulders, warms up my back. And what I've been doing is also a little bit of jumping with that to get my legs moving, just to get the blood flowing in my whole body, to get my lungs moving, to get the breathing going. I'll do some wall. I'll do some wall push-ups, or some angled push-ups where it's not as hard as a regular push-up, and that'll be a good warm-up. And so, I do those, and I really get the blood pumping, and I really enjoy my warm up. Sometimes I spend like 20 minutes doing warm up, I think, between everything. So, and it's funny, sometimes I think I enjoy that more than my regular full workout, because it's kind of like a little more free form, like just do whatever I feel like to just get the blood pumping and stuff, and it just feels good.
Oh, it's definitely important. You want to warm up the muscles, especially I feel like after my 20s, just warming up the muscles prevents injury. Uh, and Cowboy can attest to this, as Neil J says. That's why he ended up with the shoulder injury he did, and ended up needing surgery. Is you gotta warm up, and you can't be lifted more than you can, in especially if you haven't lifted in a while. So definitely worth it. Make sure you warm up, make sure that you are all ready to go before you start hitting the lifts and start lifting. The worst thing you want to do is, come right out of the change room and hit up, 150 pounds on the bench press. I think that's just a recipe for error.
Yeah,
Yes, the
I
thing that I said
agree.
you need to do as well is stretch at the end, because what's happening to your muscles? They're all tightened up and knotted up, right? The best way to get that healing started off the bat is stretch out the muscles, get blood in between them, spend 5 to 10 minutes after the workout and get those stretches in.
No, I think
Would you?
stretching is great. I cool down, stretching. I think I need to do it more often, but I do try to get it in. I want to also talk about warming up. Not just having a warm up routine in the beginning of your workout, but warming up per set. Might sound like it's excessive, but before you start any particular exercise, I think it's good to do a slightly lighter version of that exercise. Like, you're doing the exact same motion that you would start, but you start with a lighter weight. Um, you'll feel a little weaker doing it than you would normally with, because you're doing a light weight, so you might think you're going to feel strong, but like typically you'd feel a little weaker. And then your first proper set after that, you can start with your next weight that you feel that you're ready for, or a little bit heavier, possibly, because that was your warm up weight. So, and I usually do that, and it helps a lot.
Yeah, I could not agree more. You definitely need to warm it up. Sometimes I don't put up any weight on the bench press, and I just lift the barbell, just to warm up everything, get that blood
All right.
flowing, get your body the signals that they know that this is happening. So everything's nice, ready, and prepared, and then start to lift heavy. So I think that is something that I like to do, something I like to take with me. So, definitely good tips here. So, Rouster, what do you need to stretch? Should you be stretching more? Hopefully next month we'll hear, "Oh, I've been stretching after every workout at the gym." Or is it just a time thing? You finish lifting your last weight and then you're like, "Well, I got life to live," and then you leave.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, is like after like an hour plus, I'm ready to go home and get back to my life. You know, I'm thinking maybe even stretch a little at home, because, but I'm definitely going to be thinking about it now that we discussed it on the podcast, and try to do a little more stretching. Just a little bit. You know what? I have a habit of stretching during my workout, like, because I take a little bit longer breaks between sets, I'll just just move my arms back and around and press against machines and different things to just kind of stretch out the muscles. So maybe I don't do a full routine afterwards, but I'm kind of doing it between my workout, and it kind of optimizes time. I mean, we all, no one wants to spend 3 hours working out, and so, well, maybe some people do, but I don't know about anyone that's that serious here. Maybe someone who catches this stream later is, but I personally, I want to get in there, do my workout, get home so that I, because busy life, so.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's how I kind of feel. But let's jump into this last little section. I thought we'd end the podcast off on, and I'm just gonna go over. So this is a exercise scientist who talks a lot about and does a lot of content on muscle building. And he listed 10 reasons why you're not building muscle. So I thought I'd ask Rouster if he thought of any of these and how he incorporates these into his life, because I know I'll be thinking of these next time I go into the gym. So the first one he says is 1 gram of protein per pound. And so, Rouster, do you think you're eating 1 gram of protein per your own pound? Because that would be a lot of protein per day, I would assume.
Yeah, I try. I think I eat protein with every meal. I'm not super maybe some days I get to that. Um, I'm not super serious about measuring and doing it. Like I said in the last podcast, I feel like I'm just trying to keep up, and I haven't noticed anything where I'm falling way behind. So I think I'm doing okay. I'll have eggs with breakfast, and usually there's some kind of protein, a chicken or something with lunch. Meatloaf or chicken with dinner, and I get protein in every meal, and I eat a decent amount of food. If anyone knows me in real life will know that I don't slack on the eating side. I'm 230 pounds, so I'm
Wow.
doing okay on the eating, and a lot of it is protein. I think a big part of my meals is protein, so
Do
I
you do
think I don't know
protein
if I'm getting
bars
that.
or protein shakes?
No, I'm not supplementing. Like I said, I'm just eating protein with every meal, and um, and it's probably the main part of my meal. Um, vegetables do have protein as well. So if someone here is I'm not really back into eating meats, chicken, and all that stuff, you can eat, you can get protein in vegetables. There's I don't remember off the top of my head which ones have the most, but you can look up which vegetables have a decent amount of protein. Um, you know, uh,
Yeah,
you know,
personally, I don't eat meat, so I've been doing it all off of beans, tofu. A
right?
new one I've introduced is tempeh, which is really tasty, high protein. So there's a lot of products like Greek style oat yogurt, which is really high in protein, good for breakfast. So there's some things you can do. Vegan protein, I do supplement, so there's that part. But yeah, it's an interesting thing I thought I'd like to ask. But yeah, you would have to eat what 230 grams of protein every single day, which I feel is a little unobtainable. You'd have to be supplementing at that point. So maybe not the right advice 100%. Um, Not enough calories. Well, it sounds like you eat a lot. Bad technique. This is one that I actually think is very important, right? We were talking about this. You want to have controlled lifts and you want to feel a deep stretch in the muscle you're targeting. Would you concur with that one?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, uh, you want you want to do full range of motion. You want to have control of the weight. Um, I go to the gym with my son, and sometimes he'll try to lift too much and not have it under control. Of course, I help him to keep it in control, but I can't. Sometimes, he wants to do his own thing, but I do help, and I try to keep him doing the right technique and keep it under control. I do my best. It's easier when you're seeing someone else to know if they're doing it correctly. So it's good to have a friend or someone that knows a little bit more to be there to guide you. That's always helpful. So yeah, I agree, of course.
And then we have not enough sets. So you want to hit at least 5 to 8 sets per muscle on average. So I never thought of it that way, but it does make sense. You want to make sure you're targeting your muscle at least a decent amount, right? You don't want to just work it out one exercise and then move on. So that to me makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In addition, you want to work out and have enough routine. So this is one that is a little tough because I often feel that I'm sore and not able to go to the gym and lift 6 times per week, which I feel is a little insane. If I can get up to 4, I think I've hit like a good amount, like a lot of lifting that week. And you were saying that you like
Agreed.
to lift, what is it, 2 or 3 times a week?
I'm doing 3. I'm doing 3 days.
Or 3.
And I incorporate cardio into my warm up a little bit. I want to do 2. I want to do one, at least 2. I'm trying to do 2 dedicated days of cardio. I know we talked about last time splitting up the cardio and the weights. I think that works out the best. So yeah.
The one thing that I will say works really well is each muscle 2 times a week. Now, this is incredibly hard to do, but I know for myself when I was benching 2 times a week, which I can't keep up with right now, I was definitely seeing massive results. I can't even bench as much as I was doing before when I was benching twice a week. So I do feel like that is a big aspect of how to grow strength and how to grow muscle is hitting it twice a week, but it is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. Um, you know, it really depends on where you are in your life and and what and how your body reacts to it. So you can kind of play it by ear. If you see really good results in your chest, let's say and so maybe you don't need to do twice a week. But if your shoulders are weak and you're like, I really want to get stronger in my shoulders, I want to get bigger shoulders, whatever the case is, then maybe you add that. So we have to balance it around our lives and the time we have. So I think if you can get if you're that serious, you can do 2 for all the body parts the whole week. I do 2 back days and 2 shoulder days because I've been wanting to strengthen my back more. I'm not as concerned with my chest. My chest has been okay. I do have a weaker chest, but I've been finding that it's gotten where it's holding up really well as I've gotten older. Also, I don't see that chest is as useful, I guess, in everyday life. You're not like pushing with your chest that often, really. And even if you're like, oh, I'm gonna carry around stuff, when are you carrying stuff with your chest muscles? It's like even if you're carrying big heavy bags from the grocery store, it's like that's shoulders and arms. So I'm trying to match my workout to my life and the time I have and make things work out. And yes, the Sanchez leg day is important. I did hurt my knee, so I'm kind of doing. I mentioned earlier that I'm doing this pause squats where I just hold a squat, and I'm doing that. I'm doing that like 2 to 3 times a week. So I'm not doing like a full dedicated leg day, but I'm doing my legs in that regard, especially with the cardio is hitting legs too. I'm doing jumping and everything with my warm up and all. So
Oh man, jump. I don't like to jump all too much, but I hear it. It's probably great for you. Yeah, can't skip leg day. You got to do it. I like to do it once a week. So I'm finding now I'm having trouble getting my pants over my calves. They're becoming freaking beasts. I've been doing too much leg day.
it's great.
Uh, yeah, it's really good. It's good to see the results when you put the consistency in, and that's the next point on here. You got to be a consistent schedule, make it part of your lifestyle. Like Rouser said, make your workout match your life. I think that is a good thing to take home. It's a good thing to think of. You know, working your back and your shoulder is probably the most beneficial to everyday life for us humans and how we live. So
And like,
that's a good
yeah.
point. Well, that I think wraps up a lot of the exercise stuff I wanted to get into, or we wanted to get into this week. A lot of great topics covered, a lot of exercise stuff shared. We learned some things. I had a great time chatting with you, Rouster, even though we had some technical difficulties in the beginning. But why don't you let everybody know what you're going to be up to this week? Any more racing with the little one? What can people look forward to on your channel? By the way, check out Rouster's channel. His link is in the title of the show.
Yeah. So my son really loves streaming his F1 2023 races. He streams for 3 to 4 hours. So I just like do that for him. You know, and I don't have him on cam, but I have him on microphone, and sometimes he says some things. Usually I join the chat, and I know some people from the chat today join, and they've been enjoying it, and I appreciate that, and that they come by. It's cool to have a little hangout for a few hours, and you know, whoever comes by. I don't plan on doing anything myself, just probably his stream. So that's that for my streaming. And you know, what about you?
Awesome. Well, we got Cloud&Console, the cloud gaming podcast, happening this weekend, and then I'll be getting into Helldivers 2 on Monday with the community, and just back to my streaming channel over on the Rudigs channel, so check that out. We got Super PlayStation Bros Wednesday morning, and then look out for us next month when we'll be checking in on everybody and their workout process. Hopefully Rousters, you know, lifting more, then or ask the gym to order more weights so he can lift more. And
Yes.
then hopefully I'll be getting up in my lifts. So it was great having everybody in the audience come by. Appreciate your presence. Thank you. And until next month, oh, Rouster, usually we give him a flex here at the end. At least you got to give him a flex in the beginning, and you got your picture there, so that's like impossible to beat. Oh my goodness.
No,
Jeez.
I don't know about that, but you know, it's not doing too bad. Glad you came by, Miss Phoenix. Have a great day, everyone. I'm flexing here everyone. If you can't see
it. Have a good one. Be kind and bring peace into the world. All right. Take care, everyone.
Great. Bye, everyone.
But it's